Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to something a little different, of which we haven't actually named. Hi, everyone. We're going with real names this time, so time to spook you all. Hi, my name's Josh. Max Spooky, what's going on here?
This is weird, but if you're Josh, I guess I'm going to have to be Jeremy.
You're Jeremy.
Oh, man.
We're
going down a weird path now.
Attack on the Jays.
Yup.
Collective gasp from those in the chat room. Yeah, we're doing something. We're doing a little something different this week. We have two guests that one of them has just a slight interest in the other show about equines that we did. Another that has absolutely zero and will probably ridicule us for any point that we bring it up.
I'm already silently judging all of you.
I know you are.
It's okay.
Our not so pony related friend is David. Hey, David.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for saving my butt last night for work.
Oh, yeah. All of these work for me.
Whoops. David's actually one of my coworkers and also is a generally good guy / nerd / someone I was going to have on a show on a podcast that didn't actually end up happening a while back. So,
oh man, what a world!
he's all smiles at this point. I can just feel the blush across the internet.
You know, it's okay. See, you've left many a littered corpse of a podcast behind.
Who's AC?
No. God. I'm gonna have to get used to this. This is weird.
That's fine, Jeremy.
Okay, Josh.
This is a new skin. I don't know how it works. Who's the friend you brought there, Jeremy?
This is Robert. He is a fan fiction author who is writing a novel and is doing a Kickstarter. We have him on today to discuss that.
Hi guys. Thought we agreed I was Bobbert.
Bobbert. Okay.
I actually like Bobbert a little better. It rolls off the tongue more.
Yes, that way we don't have to confuse him with Bob.
Bobbert Pattinson. Bobbert.
Bobbert Pattinson.
Oh,
I bet you have dreamy eyes.
Unfortunately, every shirt he tries to put on just slides right off.
Right. His chest is perpetually waxed and lotioned up.
Just try. It's really hard when it gets to cold season. Just jackets just fling right off for no good reason.
Well, erect nipples are actually a sign of rampant sexuality, so it all works out.
Sure it is. Hi, David.
I was gonna say that I don't wear jackets because I don't mind the cold, but I guess that explanation works too.
Okay, cool.
Oh, the more you know.
Just cannot contain the masculinity within. The fabric's just like, nope, I'm done, out of here. I don't get paid enough for this. So hey guys, we're going to talk about stuff that isn't related to the other show because there's nothing to really talk about on the other stuff. And you know what? We should probably explain a little bit of what we're doing here, Sandy, because we've already been fielding stuff in the chat room of concerned citizens wanting to know what we're doing.
Yes, we need to enlighten these people to what is going to happen. Well,
so what is going to happen?
AC.
Oh, I thought you wanted to go for this. It's time for something a little different. So yeah, we've been doing shows about the equines, the ponies, for a while, and to quell your fears, we still very much intend to do those. Because season 4 is coming up. We're going to have a whole bunch to talk about now that there's going to be episodes and things. But as we've kind of stated time and time again, don't let the show and don't let the fandom be the only thing that makes you. And kind of on a similar vein, if you noticed last episode, we had a lot of we were talking about ponies and going, and we started talking about other stuff and got really animated and got really just showed a lot of energy and there was stuff that we really kind of wanted to talk about, similar to what happened 2+ years ago when it was like, oh, we got to talk about this pony crap. So now the reverse has happened, and we want to talk about the other things. Geek stuff, video games, movies, TV,
Anime,
anything else that's out there that, sparks our interest, so that we can do a really cool show about that. So we're still going to do the Bronyville stuff. We're actually trying to figure out a name for this particular kind of show, particularly something that might have a .com available. But yeah, it's just something that allows us to talk about the other interests in our lives, or the other geeky things in our life that we really enjoy. So, not too spook. It is near October, and it is in Spooksville, so don't let this be too spooky for you. But yeah, we just wanted to do something a little different, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna still continue to do Bronyville episodes. It's going to stay on both shows are going to end up on the same stream. We're still going to do an episode a week. Whether or not it's pony related it's up to us. Well, we'll probably alternate some, or we may do one a month that, covers a bunch of pony news, but we'll still talk about the episodes when they come out in the season. Because, I'm still looking forward to season 4. But, there's a lot of other stuff going on. There's lots of cool movies and anime and all this other stuff that, all this stuff that I'm interested in, and when you only have like one or two sites to draw from because you're only doing pony with this laser-like focus, it's like, well, I'd like to talk about this other stuff that's important to me too. So
what we're going to do is we're going to do kind of similar to our normal format on the other show. We're going to talk about, we're going to do topics. We're going to talk a little bit of just random geek news, stuff that's come out in the past week. We do have an email, which was unexpected, but we do have that. We still have cool things. So very much in the same format as our other show, just with less of the equines and more of just general stuff.
Somebody sent us an email?
I thought you said that someone did.
No.
Oh,
no.
Well, then never mind.
Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. But let's do this first, because this is very important. As per our other show, there's usually 2 questions that we ask of every person that joins the show, so that we know a little bit more about you and a little bit more what makes you. We have to change those questions, obviously, on this show, so this is very important. And all 4 of us have to answer, because this is the first time. But I'll start with our guests. I'll put David to the task first. David,
oh, goody.
You must choose a superpower. You must choose either flight or invisibility. Which one you choose?
Invisibility.
Why?
I'm scared of heights, so that makes it easy. Also, I really enjoy being creepy, so invisibility lends itself to that.
Just sneak into sporting events, sneak into people's houses,
sneak
and
up
watch
behind
TV.
people and kind of breathe in their hair. So
too spooky. You would be a blast this time of year.
Yeah, exactly. This is my time.
You put on a sheet ghost costume, and then someone pulls it off, and there's nobody there.
Exactly. It'd be like some Paranormal Activity stuff.
All right, Bobbert, what about you?
Are we talking about superpowers?
Yeah, you gotta choose invisibility or flight.
Definitely flight. I don't have much use for invisibility. Flying would definitely save on gas.
See, that's the thing. Flight's always so practical. Flight's just like, it would be cool. Also, I'd save money.
Like, you wouldn't have to worry about traffic or car bills or anything. You could just fly wherever you wanted to go.
I guess if you had invisibility, you could take the bus all the time.
If I had flight, I could go to the top of a mountain and I'd have the best OkCupid profile pictures.
just set a GoPro and just be
most extreme abilities ever.
Also, it didn't get lost. You mentioned Forever Alone OkCupid pictures. Please pay attention to me. I have the power of flight. No one else can go where I go. I'll have to go with flight as well. Just mainly because of its practicality and the fact that I'm not a creepo like David. So
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Like some of the mustaches you rock are pretty creepy.
Max creep. I can't stop it. My upper lip grows faster than the rest of my beards. It's not fair. The stash is too
You're gonna
powerful.
have to rein in your upper lip a little bit.
Oh, I don't know how you're gonna do this. I'm spooked. Don't use your invisibility for it.
Yeah, see. For me, it'd be kind of a hard decision. See, I lean towards invisibility because, well, just the idea of me flying just to be this most unaerodynamic thing ever. So it's like, invisibility, yes, that sounds pretty cool. I'll just go where I need to go and, scare people and go see movies and stuff. There's lots of petty criminal uses for invisibility.
I know, it kind of turns out to just be like, flight is just kind of like a cool ability. Nobody, it has a practicality. Meanwhile, anything involving invisibility is just going to be like, I'm going to be committing crimes.
And see, the thing is,
Right.
I live in Texas. If I'm flying around, someone's going to shoot me.
True.
You get the size of that.
I didn't think of that.
Think of the size of that bird. Yeah.
That's actually true. It would be really, really tough to get along in Texas flying.
Yeah.
That's why you fly somewhere else.
Right, like
Fly your ass somewhere else. New
Wyoming
state law
would be
of
okay.
Texas. Texas governors puts in law to make you fly somewhere else. We don't need no flying types here.
This is a ground type state. And dragons are right out. You fairies go to California.
we would welcome fairies with open arms.
We do. We sure do. Up along the redwoods, there's just a big glowing neon sign. Fairies welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the big fairy migration runs through Muir Woods, right?
Oh,
Every
sure.
September.
Just runs right through. Bottled water and glow sticks go. For it's really a great time of year to help out the fairies.
It's so pretty.
Wait, what are we still talking about? I'm not sure.
I don't know. The Muir Woods. We're going to talk about the Muir Woods.
Sure.
Because Muir Woods.
Because it's a great way to go see redwoods when it's not shut down.
Boy, those sure are some big trees.
They sure were.
If I come out there in January or later on in the year for BabsCon, we should go back out there, and I won't be a fat lump dragging everybody down by needing to take breaks.
Yeah, we could do that, and we go across the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yep.
And go see other parts of the state. And there's the whole I haven't done the whole San Francisco Bay Fisherman Wharf thing. Have you done that, David? Like
yeah, actually.
The touristy part of San Fran.
Yeah, we actually have a lot of company, so we just kind of go out to downtown and Pier 39 and Fisherman's Wharf. What's really great is a nighttime tour of Alcatraz.
Ooh.
Yeah, it does sound good.
It's super creepy.
Do people jump out from the jail cells dressed up as Al Capone? I'm gonna get you.
Right, they come out of solitary and just go booga 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 booga. Right.
Oh, you got me, Al Capone.
No, what they really do is they give you this kind of headphone set with ambient sounds.
Oh, neat.
And so you walk around, and when you get into the cafeteria, you hear the sounds of a busy prison cafeteria. And when you go into solitary, you just hear faint screaming. So it's actually really cool. I highly recommend Alcatraz. It's really popular, especially the nighttime stuff. So you kind of have to book months in advance. But if you can make it, it's good.
That does sound really, really good. That sounds That sounds Starry is the biggest. Or let me use real names. Sabrina, my girlfriend, who is still currently looking at shoes and stuff and clothing that she can buy off of what is that website? Yes.
No,
She's using. She has a secret website to buy Korean clothes.
Wow,
Oh
Korean
gosh.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got to get like clothes of her people. So,
And what is that? Pray tell. What are the clothes of her people?
that is half Korean and half American.
Gasp.
I know. Yes, dear, I love you. But yeah, Alcatraz. She was just like she's the too spooky. She's the one that actually likes spooky things, and yet wearing a headset in Alcatraz and there's a sound of faint screaming. Like I like that.
But what if
That sounds cool.
then I won't be able to tell if it's the headphones or if it's actual screaming, and someone might be dying and I could save them, but I can't because I thought it was from the stupid headphones.
Or what if I just jump out behind you and actually grab you and make you be super spooky that way?
Gasp. Oh man.
So I would.
Oh, actually, and you have to take them by the Bushman. You know about the Bushman, right?
No, I don't.
Oh man. So there's this I think he's homeless or something like, but basically he kind of hides downtown in the touristy areas, and he carries this bush around. So he just kind of squats down with this bush in front of him, and people can see him, especially if they know where he's at. So you just drag your friends along, and then he just scares the crap out of them. And then you give him $1.
What?
David, I think
I
this,
am not kidding.
I think this is just a homeless man. I don't think he's an attraction in San Francisco.
No, I swear to beans, he is a San Francisco landmark. People give directions by that guy. You turn left at the Bushman.
Oh my god.
He just saw one too many old Walt Disney or not Walt Disney, one too many Bugs Bunny cartoons and just went, of course that's how you hide yourself. I don't want anyone to find me.
So yeah, there's all kinds of fun, spooky stuff in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
We'll have to plan that out, AC.
Josh,
God. This is gonna be so weird.
Can we keep a counter? That's number 2.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy.
you have to donate $5 to
Oh man.
the American Idol Fund.
No. You have to.
Use fake names.
It's a donate $5 to the Get Jeremy Out to the Bay Area fund.
That's way less exciting.
So cool. We got that taken care of. Let's go ahead and move forward. Let's talk about let's talk about first what we've been watching, what we've been playing or doing, or what kind of geeky fun stuff we've been up to. I will go to Bobbert real fast. Bobbert, what have you been doing? What's been on your plate?
I've been watching a lot of Digimon on Netflix.
Oh boy.
Awesome.
Bucking this whole Pokemon trend. Everyone's talking about Pokemon. You're like, forget it. I'm going with
Digimon season 1.
Exactly. Now on season 2, almost done.
Oh man.
They're the digital monsters.
Digimon are the champions.
Certainly not the pocket monsters. So yeah, I attempted to watch that a while back, and it seemed all right. But
It actually holds up surprisingly well.
So explain how is it now? Because how old's that series? 10 years now?
I think it came out in 1999. Is that it?
Yeah, it's more than 10 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very obvious that they're just trying to sell toys because every single time a new Digimon shows up, they put it in a frame and talk about how cool it is and what kind of attacks it has.
Right.
And figuring out.
Wasn't it part of a big card game or something like that?
Yeah, there's a card game. There are video games. I don't think I ever got into any of those though. I think just watched the TV show.
So why'd you get into try? I mean, had you watched it before, or was this just kind of like a?
Oh yeah, I watched it. I watched it back when it first aired, and then it showed up, and I was like, yeah, I'll check this out. And I was like, wow, this is actually still kind of good.
Anytime I talk to someone about it, they always seem to indicate like they went like each season was different. Like the first season had this kind of a lot more kiddie feel. The second one, I guess, for whatever reason, was a little bit more serious, and
I don't know about that, but it is a little bit different because in the first season, they're trapped in the digital world, and the whole series is them trying to escape. In the second series, it's they live in the world and they go back and forth. And then I think the third season, I haven't watched the third season, but I think that takes place mostly in the real world.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those interesting things to note that, like, seasons 1 and 2 in the U.S. were basically the first 4 seasons of the Japanese. And basically they just like, yeah. Is it the, like, original Fox Kids dub and stuff?
Oh, yeah, it is. It has all the terrible jokes. It has the terrible music, and that just makes it even more endearing to me. It's like, oh, God, he just died, and they just crack like some. I guess he really got fried.
Quick, let's get the interns to write these scripts. Wait,
well, apparently the executives.
Oh, go ahead.
Otherwise, it's not for kids for some reason.
Well, I mean, we also have to remember that, like, One Piece was one of the most atrocious examples of Fox's mutilation of anime series.
Wait, One Piece was a Fox Kids show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was initially when it was first released in the US, it was a Fox Kid dub.
Wow.
It had like a horrifying rap intro and
which always works.
Yeah, that's the best.
One Piece, we're on a boat, we're pirates. Yo, yo, pirate time, go, yay!
And like they turned all the guns into super soakers and
cigarettes turned into lollipops.
For kids, not Fox Kids. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think that series really works as a kids show, does it?
No, it's a kid show in Japan. They have toys in like McDonald's and things like that.
Yeah, but they have different standards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 4Kids, not Fox Kids. 4Kids was the guys that did the stuff for Fox, though.
Yeah,
right. So with what, Naruto and Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, I don't. Didn't it work for Yu-Gi-Oh? Not Naruto. I think that was somebody else.
Okay.
I think Card Captors was another one of those that was 4Kids.
Yes, it got a couple seasons.
Yeah, it was Kids WB and heavily edited, reordered episodes, with some episodes completely missing. And it was primarily so they could aim it around the guy as opposed to Sakura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the 4Kids things that they've destroyed.
Yeah, it was a 70-episode series in Japan and got cut down to 39 by the end of it. It was one of those things that, oh man, it certainly didn't fare well.
Yeah.
So it wasn't one of those things where like they were Dragon Ball Zing it out, where they were just kind of staring at each other with their cards for like a couple episodes and then fought.
If I use this one, this would allow me to use that later. But what if they have that? If they had that, they'd be able to cancel out my abilities. That would be bad. Instead, I could do this. But if I did that, what would I be able to do then? Oh no, what if they did
What will Sakura do?
What will she do? I don't know. What could she do? That could be bad. Oh no, if that happened, that would be bad. Maybe she could do this. Guys, I'm right here. You don't have to keep judging me.
Oh,
you're freaking
I don't know,
me
Digimon
out.
Does that too, because I know some seconds where some characters talk really fast because they have to keep up with the lip syncs from Japan, so they just keep talking even though none of it really matters to the plot, and they have a certain amount of space to fill.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the extended scene where they were talking about really physical really meaningful relationships. So now they're just going to talk about cotton candy for a while. I like it when it's blue. I still like the pink ones. Quickly, we need to make sure that we dub this as dumb as possible so that there's no way that it could offend them. Then when they grow up, they'll think that guns are awesome.
Right. They'll automatically associate guns with cotton candy. So, like, guns actually shoot cotton candy.
Oh, now I'm just imagining Joker having a cotton candy gun.
I can see it with that.
Just he gets you
Remember
with the
that
little
episode?
cones.
There was an episode of the animated series where the whole thing was Joker leading Batman through like this Rube Goldberg series of like set pieces just so he could hit him in the face with a pie at the end.
I think I remember that.
It was so amazing. I love it.
Had no basis on that. Yeah. Anyway, so Digimon, anything else?
Not in terms of watching. I've been playing some games lately.
What you been playing?
Devil Survivor 2 came out a couple years ago. I'm totally with the times.
You're really hitting the new ones. I've never even heard of that. Devil Survivor 2.
It's a Shin Megami Tensei title.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It also has an anime, which is kind of Pokemon-ish.
You're not getting the true Devil Survivor experience unless you play the games. Because they're all about getting to a boss and then playing the same boss for half an hour until you hate yourself and you hate everybody. You don't get that from the anime.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's an Atlas title, so everybody's incredibly stylishly dressed and very pretty. And yeah.
Can I date all the girls in school in that one, or is that can I not do it in that one?
I don't know.
Date them, but I think you can flirt with them.
Yeah.
And then your
Must
relationship
buy.
levels up and they'll do better in battle.
Yep.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Have you not played like the Persona series, David?
No,
Oh.
actually, I'm not a video game guy.
The Persona series is really good and kind of half of the game is a old style Japanese RPG turn based with a little bit more action added in, but the whole like rest of the game is you going to school and talking to people and going to clubs and doing classes and getting into relationships and going into after school stuff. It's bizarrely cool. Because you just end up going this thing of just like, all right, well, today I'm going to go to school. I'm going to make sure that I study after class. Then I'm going to go to bed. The next day, I'm going to make sure that since I've rested up, I'm going to I'll go to the track club after I'm done. Then we'll go fight the monsters in the dungeon.
Yeah, it's one of those things you have to balance your life around school and then fighting monsters, and there's like a bunch of different endings because of it.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Persona 4, best game ever.
Yeah, I actually haven't ever played any of the Persona games myself, but I have friends that are like super obsessed with it.
I've gotten about like the game to give you an idea just how long it is. Like the game is over the span of a year in game time. The furthest I've ever gotten was like 3-4 months in, and that was 30 hours. So it was just like, like, I like where this is going, but oh god, this takes so long. Just sitting there just going like, all right, so I've got to go, and I'll go to this club today. Oh no, this friend wants to talk and hang out. Okay, I guess I have to, just like, all right, I'll go spend time with you. Damn, I can't go do this today.
Guess I won't go fight the monsters.
Yeah. Having to worry about like, I haven't talked to that person in a while. I hope they're not upset with me.
Oh, so like Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh, yes. Yeah, exactly. So you don't talk to Trevor for a while. He goes and tries to eat your face.
Meanwhile, somebody's been kidnapped by the monsters, and you're just, going to basketball practice. They'll be fine.
I'm really concerned, but we won't be able to do anything until the full moon, so,
I guess we gotta wait another 20 days. Hope they don't get eaten by monsters by then.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess I'll just work on my jump shot in the meantime.
Check out my swag.
I don't know. How pretty was the character profile? Was it really pretty? We don't have to worry.
Oh, it's the ugly one. Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
they're gone.
It's a shame about that.
Had a mole on their face. Oop. Nope.
With
Not.
3 long mole hairs that they braided.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh.
yeah, they're totally gone. Might as well. We're just gonna find the rest of their head. Actually, we'll just find the mole.
But the hairs will be gone.
Yes.
Just shave that off.
So a Shin Megami Tensei game. I haven't heard of that one. So it's not Persona based. Is it a little bit more actiony or what?
No, this one is a turn-based strategy.
Okay.
So kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay. And you're just sitting there for 30 minutes trying to pick apart a boss.
Yeah, the bosses in that game are super cheap.
That sounds like a whole bunch of not my kind of thing.
And I'm like, oh, I hate this game. I'm never going to play it again. And then 10 minutes later, I'm back in. It's like, what if I try this?
Yeah, but like the thing is, Shin Megami Tensei or Megami Tensei has like 5 different game series. So it's one of those things. There's Devil Summoner, the Persona series, Digital Devil Saga, Devil Survivor, and then they have spin-offs as well.
And don't forget the main series where they came out with Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Yeah.
Because it's the 4th game in the series, right?
Yeah, that's one of those series that if you fall down that well, you're not coming back out for a while.
I'm still trying to claw myself out.
Yeah. Some people are talking in the chat, and I do have to agree with it. It is kind of weird that I've played Persona like 3-4 times, gotten 30 hours in, and kind of stop. Whereas I can just steam through something like Skyrim and put like 120 hours in it and not blink.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think... Yeah, go for it.
I was about to say, I could never get into like the what are they, the Elder Scrolls games, because they're so huge, it's paralyzing. So like you get past the opening set piece, and they're like, here's this big world to explore, and I'm like, I'm gonna talk to the guards for 5 hours because they seem cool. I'll just hang out with them.
Hey,
and
guy,
I'm pretty
how
sure
are
like
you?
there's this dragon destroying the world on the other continent.
That's okay.
And I have no idea.
But it's like the guards are cool, but that lady needs me to go pick her some herbs. I'll be back.
Right.
Hey, stuff is really bad. We're in a war right now. Yeah, but I kind of want to go be a student at this college, so
Going to learn magic, BRB.
yeah, just
Right.
got to see how that is. Also, these thieves want me to be part of their club, so I think I might end up being the king of that in a little bit. Also, I'm a deadly assassin. Forgot to tell you that. Yeah, that's the weird part of Skyrim is it's just like I am the master of everything.
Right.
I hate how quests work in that game. There was one of those evil gods that was like, bring me somebody to sacrifice. I'm like, okay. Hey, you offered to help me out because I helped you out, and now you're sworn loyal to me. Hey, just stand right here in the summoning circle, okay? And then they murder her, and hey, I got some awesome armor now. I didn't really need her anyway.
Wow. That's straight up immoral.
He's cold.
Well,
It was
He's
in my quest
cold.
log. I had to do it in order to get it out.
You are sacrificing somebody to a Daedra. Yes. It's kind of bad. So,
Wow.
So
there's
all right.
that.
Shin Megami. David, what have you been doing? You watch a lot more TV than I think the rest of us do.
Yeah, I'm a big TV guy. So Supernatural's back, if anybody's into that.
I've never
season
actually
9.
watched that one. I mean, they've got 9 seasons. I might as well start it.
Yeah, so like it's kind of interesting. The first 5 seasons are kind of like this self-contained story.
Mm-hmm.
The original creator just had like this 5-year plan, and so it plays out. And everybody else wanted to keep going, but the creator decided, nah, I'm just gonna go off and make Revolution. And
Revolution.
so the second season is actually way better than the first one. But so they kept going for 4 years now, and season 6 and 7 aren't so good. The first half of season 8 is crap, but it comes back pretty strong, and season 9 is pretty cool so far. I'm watching Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
How is that? I've watched the first couple seasons of Once Upon a Time, and they seem pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so remember those like 90s fantasy miniseries like The Tenth Kingdom
Yeah.
and like Alice in Wonderland. So like they have that kind of like 90s miniseries level of CGI.
Oh,
So
Nice.
it's pretty bad, but in an endearing way. So it kind of makes me really nostalgic for that, and it's cool.
okay.
Now is that the Disney one where they have like all like old princesses and stuff in it, or I'm trying to recall.
Yeah.
What that is. That's the
So
one.
Once Upon a Time is like all the Disney property fairy tales kind of like mashed up together.
Yeah, and it's on ABC, which is owned by Disney.
Disney, right? So they have like Mulan and Jasmine, and Jafar is like the big bad.
Oop.
Uh,
And Jafar's
Agents of Shield. I'm watching.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
how's that? I've heard some people talk about Agents of Shield, and they went like, first episode good, second episode and people just went, all right, that's it, I'm done. But the third and fourth were supposedly pretty good.
Yeah, the second episode's okay. Like you kind of have to like give it the proof of concept, right? Like so, like this is what this series is going to look like from week to week, and they're still so it's like way after the pilot. They have a much smaller budget to kind of get things done, so they kind of have to like reinvent the show in a way. And they've been doing better and better with every episode. So like the last episode is about this guy who's a fire starter essentially, and it actually gets surprisingly dark. So I recommend it. Like if you've turned away after episode 2, give it at least until episode 5 before you give up on it.
Yeah, and they did order a full season of it, so it's not like it's going to disappear if it anytime soon. So it's getting its full season treatment.
Mm-hmm. So they're gonna give it a go. It's still like holding its time slot pretty well. So I think it'll get a second season even.
Cool.
It
It's
was-
a Josh Whedon show. Don't say too much.
Oh no, Summer Glau just showed up. We're doomed.
Oh man.
We're doomed.
Yeah. That character that you like the most, he dies in episode 3.
Oh, you know that.
Just
Well, you know that it's just like Joss Whedon's doing a show. It's going to be like, all right, which female character is going to bite it?
right. Like actually, I don't know if like the female characters die as much. Like, cause you have. Oh, I was about to spoil a lot of stuff.
Oh.
That's going to
No
be for
spoilers.
that's going to be for our other show, Spoilerville. We're going to have to make.
Right. But like, I think it's mostly dudes that die in weed and stuff.
Well, I mean,
Uh.
Buffy, it was a mostly female cast, from what I understand. I admit I don't have a Buffy card to wave around, but Starry does, Sabrina does. Yeah, she watched all 9 seasons like a year ago.
It was not 9.
How many seasons was it?
It was only
7.
7 seasons. Still a lot of seasons.
Yeah, I've been absorbing Buffy by proxy because our roommate is dragging my partner through the series by his ear and is making him watch it. And he's just like, whatever. But it's just, I'm hearing it and I look over there occasionally and they're watching it. I'm just baffled by some of the stuff. It's definitely not something I was terribly interested in, obviously, because I'm not watching it, but
It's an interesting show because if you try to explain a lot of the plots to someone who isn't like versed in it, it sounds like crap. It just sounds terrible.
like, wow,
But,
that
like-
sounds kind of dumb.
Yeah, like, but if you watch the season, it makes its own internal sense. And so, like, you actually get really involved in this stupid stuff. Some seasons are better than others. but they're all really engaging, and I highly recommend it.
Okay. Once I have free time again in a couple weeks, I'll I have a lot of stuff that I need to. My backlog is pretty thick right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what are you up to?
Ooh,
Well,
good segue.
I've been watching Person Interest season 3. Which
Oh yeah, I hear that's a great show.
it is really great. Jim Caviezel and the dude from Lost. So
Michael
it's
Emerson.
Michael Emerson. So Jesus and the creepy dude in charge of the village on Lost team up to fight crime. But it's a really cool premise, and basically the whole thing is the government built a computer system that spies on you. It's a big stretch, right? And in this particular case, it was built primarily to disrupt terrorism. Well, it gets all the data for everything else, but it wouldn't, of other imminent violent acts, but wouldn't do anything about it. And the guy that created it found out that these people were being accurately predicted of being victims of violence, and nobody was helping them. So he found himself a dude, in this case Jim Caviezel, to help him fight crime. Or, well, not really fight crime, but prevent the person from dying.
From being a victim.
Yeah, finding out if the number they get is the victim or the perpetrator. Are they going to kill somebody, or is someone trying to kill them? There's a bit of mystery. There's a bit of a cop procedural in there, but it's not a terribly dark series, though there are some episodes that have really dark endings. Mm-hmm. When there's some good twists that you don't see coming. It's a really good series, and I mean we're buying it legit off iTunes because it's a really good series, and the iTunes has the rights, and the DVD rights are all kind of muddled because it was like 3 or 4 different companies claiming ownership. So good luck finding it on DVD, but you can certainly find it on online.
On digital? That's weird.
Yeah. But I'm watching that Once Upon a Time, catching up on that. I'm still working through the last season of Burn Notice. That was a good series. Bruce Campbell and the main character, whose name I don't recall.
So it's just the show that you watch for Bruce Campbell, which would
it's Bruce Campbell and his chin and some other guys and a girl do wacky spy adventures in Miami.
It just sounds like to me it's the name. It just should be like celebrate Bruce Campbell has a steady paycheck.
Yeah, except that series just ended.
Had a steady paycheck.
So he's like, well, I'm spending some time on the road, and now I need to find my chin another job.
Puts it in the wheelbarrow and just starts walking down the road. Chin in tow.
But that's one thing that I've really been watching, and right now, I mean, my schedule's been kind of full. In case people, don't remember, I am kind of running a convention here in 2 weeks, so my free time between that and doing my next audiobook has been kind of taken up. So I have a lot of backlog to get through on the tail end of November and in December. Haven't even really been playing much in the way of Vidya aside from just WoW.
Just grinding out your dailies.
Not even that, just getting all my alts up, because I can do that. It's brainless, and it's an activity I can do with friends.
Right.
It's like, well, I only have 10 90s. I need to get Mr. 11 all the way up.
Oh, God. Just give me one of those. It's too slow.
I can certainly help you if you want.
I know. To segue over to mine, I do have WoW now, but I actually haven't been on for like 5 days or so.
Well, you certainly have full rest then.
Yeah. It's just right now I'm doing the whole like there's no reason to level up. It's just doing dungeons over and over. And since my character is healing, it's kind of easy to get into them. But each time I'm on for like an hour and a half and then I'm off. So it's like get a level, leave. Get a level, leave. It's kind of the point where it's just repetition. That and trying to level up that way it's such a burnout because you jump into that game and it's just like, all right, I'm in. Okay, which one's the tank? Oh God, heal him now. He's already in trouble. It's just like, run, go. Oh. Just do it right now. Just try and take care of this. Always by the skin of your teeth, because everybody else is just like, I'm tired. This is my 13th alt. I'm done. I just want to get this up. Like, oh God.
Why don't you have heirlooms, noob?
Because they don't trade between servers, jerks.
Yeah, that would make certain things easier.
It would. So yeah, I've been doing that. Actually, last week I picked up a 3DS, so I now have one of those.
Nice.
Do have that. I've got the Pokemon and this is the first actual Pokemon I've ever played. This is my intro to Pokemon, so I have Pokemon Y. Because everyone else has X, so I can trade them all the cool stuff.
Pokemon, why not?
Yeah, I have the Pokemon that brings all the boys to the yard. So, it's I get so distracted by like stupid side stuff in games that it's not funny. Like I'm sitting here and I'm going like, okay, well, I need to, there's all this story and there's all this game. It's just like, well, the purpose of the game is to catch them all. So I'll just sit in the beginning area and then just keep grinding, trying to catch everything I can in the beginning area until it just becomes pointless. And
Gotta
then
catch them all.
I know. Then I'll be going along. It's like, oh, okay, I got into the first big town. Oh, look, there's some like stuff here where you could make your pets loyal. So I'll sit here for 30 minutes while the rest of the game is running. Like, okay, I need to feed them little bonbons, need to pet them, and need to do some games with him so I can get it up so that he's loyal to me. And that's why it's taking me forever to actually do anything, because it's all these stupid side things that just like, oh, I need to do the power training. So yeah. I get so distracted by the little stupid side games. It's just like, oh, I should probably go and catch things and find out what this whole game is actually about.
You gotta find all the Pokemon.
All the Pokemon. I don't know. It's been fine so far. It seems like one of those games. It is simply a version of digital, cockfighting. So. But just put the right chicken in front of the other chicken and
make sure. Then they fight until the other one faints.
Right.
Except you have to go back to the place to go revive your fainted animals.
Yep.
The place that has a store. Who says that that we're just gonna fill them full of new ones? He'll never know.
I used to be big into Pokemon. They kind of fizzled out after the last one.
Yeah.
Black and White Black was good, but it was like each new generation is better than the last one, but I keep getting less interested every time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I played Diamond and Pearl. We had purchased our DSs and we got Pokemon and had our Pokewalkers and all that fun stuff, and but then the next ones came out and we didn't get a 3DS, and now it's kind of like, oh, I want...
Black was on the original DS.
Yeah, I forget which... That's right. I played Pearl. Diamond and Pearl were the ones we played, and then we never really got that far in them, and now it's kind of like, I want to play this one, but I have to get a 3DS of some form, or a 2DS. But I like the clamshell design more than I like this little piece of toast.
Yeah, I did some searching on whether to get a 3DS or a 2DS, and pretty much they said if you can spare the extra $50, go for the 3DS.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would get a 3DS XL, just by virtue of, you can turn the 3D off, because for me, the 3D actually gives me a headache.
I almost never use it.
It's not. Yeah, it's not very good.
And the thing is, there's not a lot in Pokemon that is 3D, because they're like, we want kids to play this, and they're like, yeah, if you're under 7, you shouldn't use the 3D. So like, we want kids to play this. There's not going to be a lot of 3D involved in this version.
Actually, that's that's the main problem with the 3D is that I actually do like playing games in 3D. Like I got my 3DS has Mario Kart installed on it, and I'm playing Mario Kart and Luigi's Mansion and Mario 3D Land. I play those in 3D because it actually helps. But it's like when you're playing Fire Emblem and it's all just these stats and characters moving around a map, and the 3D just gets in the way.
Yeah.
So it depends on the kind of game.
I didn't think. I mean, the original demo kiosks were like Pilot Wings Resort or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
So that flight just didn't work for me. But I may end up getting a 3DS after Nightmare Nights because, well, I'll have again free time then.
Yeah. So I've had that. WoW, as I said. Any other games? None right offhand. Have a bunch of board games that we've been playing through over here at the house. So, for instance, looking at the table right now, I'll go ahead and talk about one of them. There's one that keeps popping up whenever we have little game nights, and it's Elder Sign. It's a tabletop kind of in the Arkham Horror universe, and you end up, there's a big bad Cthulhuoid demon thing that pops up, and you as a bunch of adventurers have to go around and collect elder signs to close the portal. If you can't close the portal in time, then the big nasty pops out and tries to eat you all. It's pretty good. It's Arkham Horror Light. If the Arkham Horror itself is a little bit too time intensive, you can get through a game of this in 45 minutes. Lots of pieces, lots of kind of neat things that can happen in it, and some good characters with it. We've kind of gotten to the point that we can and it's a co-op game too, so you're not fighting each other; you're actually trying to help each other out.
That sounds pretty cool.
It is. The only thing at this point is I think that our crew have gotten so good at it that we can actually just kind of figure out how to beat the boss before it ever comes out. So, we just kind of go like, okay, we'll put this here, we'll put this, you use your ability here, we need to get this roll, so I'll help you out with this, it's kind of fun just because everyone ends up working together, but...
Oh, that's why I hate cooperative games, because everybody's yelling at you. And my experience has always been, oh, you're not doing it right, you need to do this. And everyone's commanding each other. I don't know if I just have jerk friends or what, but that's always been my experience with co-op games.
There has been some
I think
cases,
it is jerk friends.
Yeah. Well, I do know that there has been some hurt feelings over co-op games a lot when people end up going like, no, you should do this, and pretty much dictating people's roles. Like, there definitely is a bit of that if you have people that are just like, no, I know how we can beat this. It does become a bit of that. I end up playing a lot of co-op games. I'm actually looking at the table. I've got like a Forbidden Island, which is another cool co-op game. Need to get a copy of Pandemic, which is also really cool. If you like,
I've always wanted to play that.
Oh, it's pretty neat.
I know of a good co-op iPhone game. There's this game called Space Team.
Yeah.
Yes. Space Team.
Best iPhone game ever.
Need to have Nightmare Night Space Team games. Androids not allowed.
Oh man, that'd be funny. It's just get people on stage with iPhones. All right, we're gonna play Space Team.
Get the VA and staff, and they've got to play Space Team.
They're already gonna play the DHX folks are already gonna play Brawl, so why not make them play Space Team?
Scream at each other. Turn the Kaflugels! Down on the reactors!
Everybody flip. Then, of course, friendships would be ruined forever.
Absolutely.
Friendship is no longer magic for these people.
Yeah, let's see. TV. Trying to recall. There's not too much I've been watching TV-wise. I've caught a little bit. So we had a period kind of a while back where we were catching up on Adventure Time, and that was pretty good. We got through season 1. That show
Wayback.
Yeah, that show starts off real like, I don't know, and then once they finally get into like the like 15 minute episodes, you're like, okay, I gotcha. Long format was not
Right.
the best for you. You know.
I forgot they were doing like 30 minutes way earlier.
Yeah, it was a little bit just kind of like, come on guys, what's your plan here? What you doing? But once they finally sped it up, I got into the episode. I think my favorite so far has been the one where Flynn has to figure out like how to make. There's the town where everyone wants something, and anytime someone wants something, it contradicts what someone else wants.
Oh yeah.
And they get the story of just like, you can't appease everyone, and Flynn just goes, no, and just does it anyway. Flynn,
That show
sorry.
weirded me out during that one episode where they took this old lady elephant through the forest, and then she bit an apple, and then she exploded, and they looked on in horror, and that was the end of the episode.
Yeah, I remember that one and was kind of like, what did I just watch?
Oh man, no, there are so many episodes that are like that. Have you watched the haunted house one?
I've only seen what's on Netflix, and it's only one season.
Okay.
Yeah, Netflix
but no, there's
it doesn't have much in the way. Cartoon Network put like one or two seasons on, and then they're like, you can go the rest if you want.
wow. So where do you get the rest? I guess iTunes.
Sure. iTunes.
BitTunes.
BitTunes.
Bitcoins? Are we trading bitcoins now?
Yes.
What do you want to buy with these bitcoins? I have a marketplace. You could go purchase things with your bitcoins.
Coins that are made of bits.
Yes.
What a mystery.
Mystery coins. Yeah, so there's been that. Actually, I've ended up doing a lot more web series. I really like the cartoon Hangover stuff, like the Bravest Warriors, and I really like Bee and Puppy Cat. Like, I just need more of that. It's too like silly and ridiculous. That I really like those. And then there's this other show that's going to be coming up in about a month or so that is probably going to be a big thing again. So,
No, I don't know. I know.
some other.
Who's gonna watch that?
David, are you going to watch that?
Nope.
0 out of 0 will not friend.
Yeah. No, it's so I've seen maybe 6 episodes, and it's fine. I don't get why you're yeah, it mystifies me. So like, I could see being into the show, but like to the point of going to a convention, I don't get it.
That's fine.
Sorry, guys.
No. It's okay.
It's okay to not like things. It's okay.
Aw. Did you learn that from the show?
Yeah, actually, that is
Sure,
what
why
it is.
not?
I'm sure there was an episode where they did that.
Yeah, it's just a cute little animation. It's like, it's okay to not like things. It's okay, but don't be a dick about it.
No, like, because I have my own things that I like obsess about, and nobody really like. So like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Are we gonna
Total fan.
Are we gonna go?
Love it.
Are we gonna go to the topic and talk about our nostalgic one thing that caused us to obsess?
Yeah,
No, I mean
'cause-
like the current series.
Oh,
well, I mean, we can actually segue into that too. And Robert,
sure.
feel free to chime in too, because I mean, don't want to leave you out here.
It took you weeks to even find out that I was in the Nightmare Nights chat room.
You know,
It's
it's
kind of like, eh.
It's okay. We're not always on top of things sometimes. Like, you're in the chat room, you never say anything.
I know.
he's just polite.
Yeah. He just gets to observe. He's reporting on us to the authorities.
Always
You don't know
there.
who they are.
I'm putting together my master plan.
Yeah.
Always watching.
That's-
So, David, do you like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I do quite a bit. So like, they do a lot of different stuff with it, but it actually works. So
Like-
Splinter is kind of like this looming huge abusive dad. Uh,
Wait, what?
Clean your room.
no, like he's like he's the same like kind of wise old rat, but he's way taller than all the other turtles. So like when he actually like hits them in this kind of lesson, it's kind of like, dude, he just beat the crap out of these
It's
people.
like, you're an abusive dad.
Yeah, but it's a kid show, so it's like, haha, that abusive sweater.
Parental abuse.
Right. But like they do a lot of really neat stuff with Shredder. They're going through all the origins with like the classic people, like so like Leatherhead, April O'Neil, Karai is like in it, and they're doing Slash and Casey Jones this season.
Yeah, Casey Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I've seen, because I just like going and seeing what's the cool toys and all that. So it's like, oh hey, it's a Leatherneck toy or Leatherhead, and there's Rat King, and he's not this crazy buff dude. He's this scrawny dude in bandages and a coat with rats. They changed his design from the '80s version. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because I was big into that when I was a kid. So it's like,
Yeah, same here.
I had some of the really ridiculous ones like Pizza Face and
Pizza Face. Wow.
his peg leg was a pizza cutter with a box stuck to the bottom.
Oh my god, this is a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they ran out of ideas pretty hard towards the end. They were like, they're farmers, they're farmer turtles. Okay,
I remember that series
yeah.
of toys. But no, like a lot of the old like Archie comics had like the really crazy figurines. So like the Mighty Mutanimals.
Yeah.
That they tried to like spin off and like just went nowhere because all the characters were like really stupid. I think that's where they got the idea from Street Sharks from, actually.
I mean, that time period, you had Street Sharks and like Biker Mice from Mars, and you had all sorts of all right, well, Ninja Turtles was a thing. So let's try other street vigilante anthropomorphic critters. Sharks, right. That sounds cool. Road Rovers. All that particular era is like post Ninja Turtles. We have to find the talking animal kung fu cartoon to make the next $1 million.
Oh god, I just found Pizza Face's description. Pizza Face, Shredder's crazed culinary creator, had a plan to become the most powerful pizza chef ever. So he zapped himself in his retro mutagen oven, hoping the energy would bake him with badness. But the hungry turtle teens burst into the parlor and pulled Pizza Face out. Now, this half-baked bozo wants to get even with the turtles for foiling his formula. All the turtles wanted was a large pepperoni to go, but instead they got part pizza and part Pizza Face.
And we're not making any of this up.
I know. It's totally a thing.
Wow. But yeah, that was one of the toys that I had, and I had a whole bunch of the random stuff. Between Ninja Turtles, I mean, I grew up in that time frame, so I mean, you had the Ninja Turtles and all the other cartoons.
Yeah, I was obsessed with Alf when I was a kid. Nobody remembers Alf.
Well, I remember it. I'm just kind of like,
I never watched it.
I was like, I always thought it was hokey.
I don't. Yeah. See,
I'm
like
judging you.
Yeah. So yeah. Like I got my thing right. Pound Puppies, Teddy Ruxpin, totally into that. But I hated Thundercats.
Wasn't a big fan of that one either, but I think it was just because
Yeah.
it was a little before my time.
Yeah.
Well, I think they just got the anthropomorphic blend wrong. So it just looked like a bunch of like,
colored
kind of-
people.
yeah, colored people with like mange.
It's like, dude, trim that beard. That's kind of crazy.
Right.
Well, let's go ahead and move this on a little bit since we're starting to go down the nostalgia road a little more. Let's talk about the shows that are the stuff that we as kids obsessed over, and how it caused us to be the weirdos that we are today. I'll start with Bobbert again because he's all quiet over there in the back. Bob, what was your big thing?
I already talked about Digimon.
So it was just Digimon.
It was Digimon, it was Pokemon, Powerpuff Girls. That was one thing that made it really easy to get into My Little Pony, because, oh, Lauren Faust worked on Powerpuff Girls. Oh, okay. But, mostly video games.
So
Zelda, Banjo-Kazooie.
So there wasn't like one you were just completely enamored with and went to over and over? Didn't write any like crazy fan fiction to, or...
I think my first fanfic was a Futurama fanfic, actually.
Ooh.
And it was basically just a
Wow.
rip-off of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I know that's a very weird one to rip off for Futurama, but I did it.
I could see it working.
Fry goes in sick and everyone's all concerned about him and they just fly across the universe and do stupid.
Yeah, and it did end with everybody partying in downtown.
Downtown New York.
I hope I did not post that on the internet anywhere. I don't think I did.
I'm sure that no one out there could potentially find a fan fiction for Futurama in
No,
which...
actually, I know of one guy. I sent this to one of my classmates, and I hope he's not listening to this, because he could probably dig it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good news is that a lot of fanfic that you wrote in your early days probably doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, even when I start writing My Little Pony fanfics, those are still floating around. And
those will be around forever. It's now in now in the event horizon. You can't get rid of them.
Right. Can't get it back.
Anything posted, pre 2005, you're fine. Anything afterwards is going to permanently be on your record.
Yep. It's a good thing Tripod's dead. Thank goodness.
If it's on LiveJournal, I'm sorry. It's going to be there forever.
Oh, no.
They all
Oh,
know.
man. Actually,
LiveJournal.
I still have a live journal. I'll still rock that.
I still have one. I don't do anything with it.
I got a LiveJournal invite when you still needed to have a LiveJournal invite.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I haven't posted anything since like 2009 or possibly before. I don't remember exactly. The last thing I wrote about was a podcast that I listened to was really getting mad about the Real ID thing in WoW. And like they went on this ridiculously uninformed rant that made me just be like, I literally unplugged the audio cable from my iPod, said, no, I am done with you, and I never listened to that show again.
Wow.
It's just because like they'd gotten on this rant about how Real ID, the capacity of using your real name in WoW to contact people, and it was cross-realm stuff, like the initial startup, and they were trying to say that like, oh no, it's going to make you use your real name all the time.
So like Google's doing now.
Yeah.
They were just forward thinking.
Yeah, I guess. And yeah, Real ID you can use to find people that you know in real life, and that's useful. But you also have battle tags, which is a pseudonym you work under. So it was one of those Tempest in a Teapots, a fandom connected thing that made me drop the podcasters like it was hot. I don't feel bad about that.
So, Jeremy, what was your obsession?
I was a big Disney kid.
Were you?
I was. But I was also really, really into the defining video game of my childhood was Final Fantasy VI. Up to the point that I wrote crappy fan fiction when I was a kid and I had an OTP.
Go.
Wow.
I was reading fan fiction on alt something newsgroup stuff and I wasn't even using it at home because we didn't have internet then. It was at the public library on the green monitored Gopher network.
Wow.
So it was like next page, previous page, and you had to read this text that's pretty small on a green monitor, and using things like Metacrawler to find Final Fantasy fan fiction. I mean, I got into that whole fandom and thing really kind of early. Probably, I wouldn't say like right near the beginning of online fandom, but probably pretty close. I mean, I'm just right at that age where, the internet first became a thing.
I remember reading Pokemon fanfics back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting that you had you stated that Final Fantasy VI was yours, because it always seems like with Final Fantasy fans, it's between either the 6 or the 7. They either went crazy for 6, or they got a PlayStation, saw 7, and they're just like, Sephiroth.
Well, see, I had a SNES first, but then I purchased a PlayStation because they are the ones that had Final Fantasy. So in a way, I had both. But Final Fantasy VI was definitely my first. Just by virtue of I played it before that. And I mean, I like them both for their own reasons, but 7 hasn't exactly held up visually.
Well, yeah, it was old polygons and
giant ham fists that are literally hams. But yeah, that was my first real thing. And then, of course, there was some cartoon about going fast.
I'll get to that on mine.
Yeah, I watched the Satam, and then the Adventures was kind of one of those things where I went, wow, this is kind of awful.
Yeah, I watched those on Netflix when they came. It was like, oh, the new old Sonic cartoons. Like, these aren't very good.
Well, it was Adventures of, not Satam, I don't think. Unless I missed that.
Satam was better, but I don't know. I can never... Even now, I couldn't really get into it.
Adventures
of...
Yeah,
I never got into, like, the big Saturday... Like, the serious Sonic. I couldn't get into that.
I feel like every character in there is good and interesting, except for Sonic himself. It's all, we need to be Robotnik, and this is what we're going to do. This is our plan. Sonic's like, I'm going to eat some chili dogs.
Yeah, he's pretty much the Naruto of the cast. Just for some reason succeeds, even though he's completely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Tracy,
hey,
it's your turn.
I know. I guess it's my turn now. Yes, Sonic was my obsession. It's not entirely hard to tell if you've listened to past shows. Started with the Sat AM, which is the Saturday morning one that was on ABC for 2 seasons. It also included The Adventures of, which I caught in reruns on USA back in the day. Obviously, The Adventures of was kind of but I really kind of lost my brain over the Sat AM one, because it was the first time I saw like a kids cartoon show where it's like there's continuity, it's kind of dark, they're fighting this entire thing. It was based off of a video game that I enjoyed.
There was there was dark elements, the whole roboticization thing, body horror going on. Stuff
where you were just like, dude, this is cool. The villain is really sinister and has a good voice, and didn't realize that Jaquel White was the Hey, Urkel's the voice of Sonic? What the shit?
Yeah, I know.
Huh? Oh, okay.
It kind of breaks you a little bit when you find that out.
Have you seen him now? He's ripped.
I haven't. He just did a carrot top. He's just... I'm going to
No, he's kind of like Urkel for full time. So, like, he's really suave and, like, built. And but I was like, hey, Jaleel White turned out okay. And then I found out he got busted for like a civil disturbance, like he hit his girlfriend.
Whoops.
And it's like,
Whoops.
I can't like you anymore.
Gotta run fast. But yeah, that was pretty much for me the pinnacle high point. That was the like, yay, everything is great and awesome, and I love this, and it's really cool. And then it was just the steady rocky Sonic cycle in full repeat, where be like, all right, hey, they're making a new one. It's called Sonic Underground. I watched it and went, why are there brother and sister? Why are there songs every episode? Why is Jaquel White voicing all three main characters, including the girl? Huh? What? Who thought this was a good idea? Like, it just tried to blend everything of the two previous shows together, and it was wretched. And then,
that's a good word.
Wretched?
Wretched.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that.
And then, just after that, just the TV show. I mean, they've had other ones like X that came around that people... It was always the same damn cycle. It was always the like, hey guys, they're making a new one. Maybe this will be the one. And that stupid, dumb side of me always went, this could be the one. You're right. It could be. I'm going to be happy again. I'm going to look forward to this. It's going to be great. Don't worry, guys. Watch the TV show. Play the game. Oh, they hurt me again. Oh, why did I fall for this?
It's kind of amazing. They've had 15 bad Sonic games now?
Something like it.
I like Colors and Generations.
I couldn't.
Those two are okay.
My jumping off point was I played Heroes, and I was like, out. This is bad. I'm done with you. And there's just like, I think it was the 1-2 points of playing Heroes and going, this is a bad game. I am not enjoying any part of this. And they're like, don't worry, kiddos, because we've got another game coming right up for you. It's called Shadow the Hedgehog. It features the black one and he has guns. I'm like, no, forget it. I'm out. This is it.
Oh, man. There's I think that's when I actually bailed on Sonic. I was like, nope. Like, the minute you come out with a black hedgehog with his guns, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm out.
Need to find that damn fourth Chaos Emerald.
Sure. Show me where the emeralds are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've it's been pretty much one of the things now and I hear it all the time. They're just like, Generations is pretty good, and I'm just, no, not even a little, not even once. They are going to have to make the love letter to the fans that is just like, dear people that used to love this, we're sorry, we're so sorry. What were we doing? What did we do? It'd have to be like, I cannot imagine what it would do to make me actually like, and I was in the same boat of you guys. It's like, I'm going to write this 120-page fan fiction on my spiral-bound notebook about an alternate universe version in which this happens, and it's looking back on it, I'm just like, wow, that idea was something a 14-year-old came up with. Sure. He thought it was the best idea ever. But that pretty much totally consumed a lot of me for a while. Oh, nice groove and tune. And before that, even when I was younger, I really I played with a friend, and we ran around the neighborhood as Mario and Luigi.
Awesome. You were Mario, right?
I was Luigi because I was the taller one.
Okay, that makes sense.
Did you have to do the little wiggly leg thing when you jumped?
We never really jumped that much. Well, maybe we did. Maybe we just kind of hopped everywhere. I can't really recall. But we would just run around and that was kind of our thing.
Gotta go fast.
Oh God, no, God, now I'm remembering. And then when I got into the Sonic thing, I was actually conscripting neighborhood kids and be like, all right, so you're Sally because you're a girl, and you're Rotor, and you're oh God, who was I?
I think Rotor was actually supposed to be gay. Did you know that?
No.
Who?
Rotor, the
mechanic.
Walrus?
Yeah.
What?
Really?
I can't remember where I had it. Maybe I'm just making it up off the top of my head, but I swear that he was written to be gay, and of course, it never came up at the show, so they never said it, but that's how he was written.
Weird.
He never showed
Okay.
up with his life partner. You know?
Right.
You have to understand that gay walruses need love too.
Man, they would give the weirdest kisses.
Very bristly.
Way too much teeth.
Like kissing a Brillo pad.
Well, and I'm sure if you were interested in, Rotor with an alternative lifestyle, the internet could provide that for you. So
It's just Google that.
I think I will actually. Rotor kissing. There we go.
yeah. And by the way, I would force Antoine to be whichever kid I didn't like the most. So, stop it. Like, I had people that were all of those characters. What kind of monster was I?
Did you not like the French accent?
The horrific French accent and the fact that he was annoying? Not really. But though in
And
the
the fact that
comic,
he styled his whiskers into a mustache, for some reason that drove me crazy.
yeah. Though
I was
in the
just like, I
comic,
hate you so much.
though in the comics, he did have his periods of being kind of cool. And that's
In
it.
a very French way, right?
Yes, in a very French way. He would get incensed. So, Rob Paulson was Antoine.
Wow.
Something to think about. Thoughts? Let's see. We went around the circle. But did we get you? I don't think we've gotten you on your... We got a little bit with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I also know you're a Star Wars fan.
Star Wars came later. So I'm a recent Star Wars convert. But like when I was a kid, I was also like a really big Disney fan, especially the Disney Afternoon. So like Tailspin,
Brother.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Darkwing Duck was my absolute favorite. I was obsessed with Darkwing Duck. I love like the Twin Peaks episode of Darkwing Duck. That was just heaven to me.
Or what about the episode of Darkwing Duck where Darkwing realizes that he's actually the villain? You
Wait, I don't remember that one.
There was one episode where he had a dream where he actually, I think Goslin like got kidnapped or vanished or maybe even died for whatever reason, and he just goes into this like depression and becomes just like a real crime stopper and just stops all crime in the city. But
I remember that.
Just because he's like searching for his soul because she's gone. And he's just like, he just cracks down on every tiny bit of crime in the city, and it just becomes this dystopian future. Deep.
I remember that.
Deep.
Yeah. It was pretty good. And so like there were all these like little hidden gems in like these Disney afternoon things where they played around with like actually pretty dark stuff if you thought about it for half a second. And it was really good. I didn't realize what was going on at the time, but when you like look back at those episodes, you're just like, wow.
You know what kid show was really dark and you didn't really know it at the time? Hey Arnold.
Really?
At the time, it was just kind of like, oh, this funny show where these kids get into trouble. And like watching that as like adults, like, wow, this is the most depressing neighborhood ever.
Really? I'll have
It's like
to
there's
see
like
that.
there's like gang violence in the background, and Helga's mom is an alcoholic, and everybody's poor and broke and everything. And like, I didn't pick up on any of that when I was a kid, and you watch it as an adult. It's like, wow, this is really dark.
Yeah, I never. I mean, there was definitely the stuff that was kind of weird, like Arnold. It was always one of those things like, why is Arnold living with his grandparents? Huh? You know, you're just kind of huh. It's kind of different. And yeah, it was inner city. I guess I guess as a kid I never picked up on that of just like this is a gritty. They're telling you the life on the streets on this cable channel that nobody from the streets actually gets.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm from the streets and I got it.
Okay. Gotta. Let's see. Man, and then there's a whole. Yeah, you start going down that Nickelodeon, like Nick Kids thing. You start really going into some.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, we could go forever on that.
You can't do that on television.
Yeah. Doug. I never really cared for Rugrats. Never really.
Me neither.
I don't understand why people were nuts about Rugrats. I was always like, it feels like the same adventure over and over. Also, babies in diapers are weird. I don't like the fact they don't have teeth.
Should I be watching this?
It's like I don't like the fact they don't have teeth. That's weird. They're just gums.
Oh yeah, like when they open their mouths really wide and there's just gums.
Really? There's some. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, quick thing: did any of you ever like watch or get Bonkers?
I
didn't.
no,
that show was too much for me.
That was dumb. That was a dumb show. It was the tail end of the Disney Afternoon era, and it was when they ran out of ideas. Okay, he's a cartoon cat, he's a cop, and the other guy's a human who's this fat jerk, and it's a terrible cartoon. I never really watched it. It was kind of when Marsupilami was trying to be a thing too. They ran out of the good cartoons, and then the other ones just got really dumb.
Yeah, remember when they tried to do like Ren and Stimpy stuff with like the Schnookums and Meat funny cartoon show?
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
Yeah, I don't entirely remember that. All right, well, that seems good. We all went and aired out all of our dirty laundry.
Yes, now I need to let Robert talk about his fanfiction and his Kickstarter.
Ooh.
Yay! Money.
What's this about?
All right, so as I've repeatedly mentioned throughout the course of this podcast, I'm a fanfic writer. And my last fanfic I wrote was actually pretty good. I'm past the blatantly ripping off movie. Actually, no, this movie is just ripping off Inceptions. So I guess I'm still ripping off other movies. But anyway, there's this fanfic I wrote called On the Line. I started writing this year. It's about Luna using her dream power to go into the mind of a little girl in a coma. How sad.
I'm already crying.
Why, what?
I'm already crying.
Yes, of course. And this is one of the stories that I've really put a lot of effort into, and it's actually kind of the first one I've gotten consistent feedback on. And I won't talk about it too much, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because kind of over the course of this year, I had a really terrible job at a call center. I'm sure you can imagine how bad those are.
I'm in tech support. Yes, I know. David may even have feelings as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so basically I had been splitting most of my time this year between writing this fanfic and going to work. And when you have a job that's stressful, then you really just, it's like, hey, do you want to come home and then work some more on the store, or do you want to come home and just play Far Cry 3 for 4 straight hours? And even though every single update I had, people really liked it, and they were always looking forward to the next one. It's just the update kept getting more and more spread out. And there was one point where I went like 2 months without an update just because I was never in the mood to write. Until finally I decided I had enough of my job, and I quit. And in those first couple of weeks after I quit my job, I suddenly found myself a lot more free time, and I finished the fanfic really fast, like 4 chapters in 2 weeks. And people loved it. People apparently cried at my ending. And I was also having trouble looking for a new job. And I thought, you know what? People really like the story, and writing's really something I wanted to do. So I started, I'm going to stop writing fan fiction. I'm going to start writing a novel. And so the idea I came up with was a novel about it's a coming of age story about a young man whose father dies and leaves him in charge of a military dictatorship.
Huh. Here you go, son.
Yeah, that's a natural progression, isn't it? Sad My Little Pony fanfic to comedy set in North Korea.
Yeah. It's real popular subject matter. Everybody's just clamoring for stories about North Korea, so.
Yeah. So I was thinking, since people really like people really like my fanfic, and also people have liked first few chapters of my novel, so I decided, maybe this could be a good time to try and jumpstart my career as a writer. So it's called The New Emperor. It's on Kickstarter. It's live, so anybody can go there now and check it out. And I have the first three chapters are actually linked to in the Kickstarter description. So if you're like, I don't know if I want to support this, you can check it out. Actually see that, hey, I have work put into this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I don't have anybody says, this is meh, or it's crap. But I have a lot of people saying, this is really funny. I like your idea. I like your writing style. Go for it. And I just believe now. And fortunately, I actually have found another job, and hopefully this one will be less stressful than the one I had. But since it's only a seasonal position, there's no guarantee that it's gonna be able to keep it next year. So this is just kind of my way back up. So try to keep myself afloat while I write.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm hoping that you reach the $8,000 stretch goal you have listed here, because I think that's
the 8,000.
Yeah, that subplot I think sounds really good. We should make sure that we keep to that. Though, for those that can't see, he will add a romantic subplot involving vampires.
At 8,001, though, it's even better.
He'll remove the subplot. Hence why I'm hoping that we hit 8,000 even.
Exactly.
If it gets to 8,000, it just stays there. I will personally donate $1 to my own cause. So
You can't do that.
He'll get a proxy to do it.
And of course, as my for the back rewards, if you pledge $100, Kim Jong Un will personally give you a phone call and thank you for contributing.
I'm not even going to attempt that because I don't want a North Korean hit squad coming after me.
They're already coming to our doors.
I know, to each
The
of
fact
us.
that he was mentioned.
Oh, we're doomed.
Yep. I didn't want this hit squad to come after me, but it seems inevitable. All right, cool. So got that Kickstarter up. Link has been put inside of the chat there down below, as well as should be in the show notes. So we have that, so we can filter that across. And
you have on the line in there as well, so they can check out the fanfic I actually finished.
Drop us some links. I think you'd mentioned
or
a couple.
He's got it. He's already got it listed there. The first 3 chapters. It's listed at the bottom of the first line of the Kickstarter page.
Okay. Yeah, he's written.
Those are the chapters of the book. I'm talking about the fanfic. That
I'll link your FemFiction account. There we go.
It's really weird how much positive feedback I got for my fanfic, and not just like, oh, the story's really good, but I actually got a lot of really constructive comments. Like, there's this one guy. I think he goes by Amasita. I think he's a pre-reader on Equestria Daily now. But after I finished the 3rd chapter, Equestria Daily featured it, so I got a lot more. Got a lot more people coming in and reading it, and Amasita actually posted like 8 comments. Basically going through the story and pointing out every single typo and every single odd character thing and basically everything that was wrong with it. And so when I first saw those comments, my first instinct is like, who is this guy? Why is he going through this and criticizing it? But I kind of thought about it and I realized that no, he's not being a jerk. He sees that your story has potential. He wants it to be as good as it can possibly be. And it just blew me away that somebody's taking their time to help a fanfic writer.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And,
Okay.
and there's a lot of other comments like, "Oh, I really like the story, but you need to have more in the next chapter. You need to put in more character movement. It feels like they're just standing there talking to each other too much."
it needs
So
a
yeah,
love story.
No, this story does not need a love story.
It needs someone else having a love story and then him crushing their hopes.
It needs to have a rabbit who skateboards.
His name is Gregory.
Right?
It doesn't have a rabbit. It does have talking dogs in it, though.
Nice. Does the talking dog rap?
No.
Can we
Although
try
there
it-
is one with a French accent.
Can we try and make it as close to Titanic the animated movie as possible?
Oh, party time!
Yeah. If you have not seen the clips from Titanic the animated movie, it is the best thing ever on the internet. Period. It is.
I saw the Nostalgia Critic review. Yeah.
Oh, it is so. I caught it before, like I caught it right when someone found it. Of just like, watch this, even before the Nostalgia Critic stuff, and it's just like, watch every single copyrighted character we could possibly fill in this. Watch us edit this so terribly because we completely wanted to remove any actual like pacing so that we could try and switch it so that you see the accident happen, but we only have like 15 seconds of reaction shots. So here's this reaction shot to you can see the frames of the animation as she turns. Like, it's so bad but so good. I played it so much for friends that I believe one of them stole it and tossed it in the trash.
Knowing you, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, he was on top of that. But yeah, that was it was pretty crazy. All right, we're already running a little long in the tooth. So Jeremy, what we got news wise? Anything out there?
Let's see. Say Captain America 2's trailer's out there. It's pretty cool.
Yep. The Winter Soldier.
Yes, Winter Soldier. Looks pretty cool. You should check it out. Day of the Doctor, the Doctor Who 50th anniversary show, is actually going to be on theater screens in a lot of U.S. places. U.S. and the U.K., and there's actually like 6 or 7 here in DFW, so I could totally go see Day of the Doctor on the big screen in 3D for like $15. I might do that. Santa Claus World came out for the Wii. Wii
There was
U,
a
Wii
lack
U.
of pony puns in this news.
Okay.
Why would you think that?
Sanic's latest adventure continues the cycle. It's bad. Its Metascore is 63.
Oh, 63, that's terrible.
Which, I mean, that puts it underneath things like Just Dance 2014 and
Well, that's because
Right.
there's only like 3 people reviewing Just Dance 2014, and all 3 of those are teenage girls.
Pokemon Rumble U. What is this? It looks awful and has terrible reviews, so go away. So the Sonic Cycle, if you watch, just go to Giant Bomb and look at their quick look of Sonic World, Lost World, and it is bad.
Shock and
I
awe.
like how you consider Sonic sucking to be news.
Well, it was one of those things. It looks really cool, and they're trying to ape Mario Galaxy, which is like Mario Galaxy Mario Galaxy 2 are like 2 of the best platformers on any platform ever.
I always thought Sonic Colors was aping Mario Galaxy.
Well, this one is definitely the Mario Galaxy try too hard.
It's Sega
But-
once again trying to be like, we have spent 10 years in the turd polishing business. So if you would like to see how shiny we can make these turds,
Yep.
anger and bitter.
And then, unfortunately, it's just another turd. Let's see, there's Crunchyroll's going to be distributing a bunch of manga. They haven't said if it's going to be free if you're a subscriber, but they're going to digitally distribute free versions of the current chapters with ad support. so that people can actually legally you go through a legal channel and read the manga online, as opposed to all the various ways of doing it at not quite so legal sites. So that's cool. So if you're caught up all the way on Attack on Titan, you can read the manga because it's already ahead of it. Pokemon Juice, apparently it's a thing. With the release of Pokemon X and Y, they've just they started releasing in Japan cans of apple and orange juice that have it's called Pokemon Apple and Pokemon Orange. Pokemon Apple has Pikachu, Chespin, Sylveon, Finnegan, Fletchling.
So do they have different vitamins that you have to trade with each other?
Well, the thing is, you have to get both because apple juice has vitamin A and orange juice has vitamin C, and you have to get both of them to be healthy. So you have to catch them all.
And also,
You'll
like,
catch a lot of other things as well.
1 in every 100 cans has like super rare vitamins,
Yeah, it's like
potassium.
and it's the one that has the ultimate the cover Pokemon on it.
And if you want to get the
Right.
best vitamins, you have to drink them over and over until you find the right ones.
Oh man, you
I
gotta
could go out all day.
you gotta combine the two cans together and then an egg, and the can comes out of the egg. But sometimes the vitamin balance isn't right, so you have to put that Pokemon in a box.
Yeah, if you have a particular drink that you like enough, you can actually just, if you work it and just like leave it for a while, it'll actually evolve into a better drink. Yeah, this drink acquired the new spell fermentation. Okay.
Or sometimes you have to add a little special something in order to evolve it to the next level. Saying they're very hard to come by.
Well, this is a super rare. You can only get it at night in certain prefectures, and you have to hit the entry code on the juice machine to get it.
Just to warn you, it may cause it may give you status effect of blindness. So,
Yes. And the last little thing that I kind of pulled together from news from stuff that I read, Doomstar Requiem, the finale for Metalocalypse, has released the first 5 minutes as a teaser. So if you happen to watch that show, you can you can watch the first 5 minutes, and it's kind of cool. And they're all singing, and it's Metalocalypse. So if that's your thing, we actually have a couple emails I see.
okay, we actually did get emails.
Yeah,
Wow.
kind of crazy. People are like, wait, you're talking about nerd stuff? I can talk about nerd stuff. Nerd stuff's cool.
All right, well, cool. Thanks for the nerd stuff. We'll probably have, once we figure out a show name, we'll probably have a designated email address that you could send those across to. But yeah, let me go ahead and pull up the doc. That way we can do nerd stuff. You go ahead and start first while I pull this.
All right, so hello, that other show. May I suggest Canon Cast, the loosest of canons talk about geek stuff? Maybe.
Not
Without
bad.
superpowers, flight is inherently dangerous and you have as much greater chance of dying. Also, flight isn't really something you can keep secret unless you're very careful of when and where you use it. What's the point of having that power if you can't use it? Invisibility can be used almost anywhere. As for Elder Sign, playing it through with friends, we found it almost too easy to beat. 2 house rules that help balance the difficulty were advancing the clock 5 hours instead of 3, and not being able to just buy Elder Signs. You can check out Board Game Geek for some other possible fixes for that game, including ones that mods the deck before play. And then he includes a link to BoardGameGeek.com, how to make things a little harder. My favorite co-op is the real-time space game Space Alert. Super fun, but it takes some time to teach people to play, and you really need 4 or 5, not more or less, people to have fun. The Adventure Time comic Fiona and Cake is now out as a volume, and I would highly suggest it for Adventure Time fans. I haven't been a big fan of the main series comics so far, but the spin-offs have been great. And speaking of comics, I was always more of a fan of Sonic
Ah!
from the comic series than from the video games. Maybe because that's why I'm not as bent out of shape as some when it comes to the mess that the franchise has become. I followed the comics from issue 14 through 150, and most of the spin-offs, and then I realized I had lost interest. I think I've rambled on for too much now. Sincerely, Chris Will, the not always pony. So yeah, Sonic. Every time we say Sonic, it's like the secret word, and we have to scream like we're on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
And now the secret word is fun. So everyone, let's have fun. Yay! This show could just do anything we want.
Yep.
The comic. With the comic, the way I see it is I got out at the right time on that one because I used to have the Sonic comic, used to get it regularly, and they were making this big deal for issue 50. It's like, issue 50, it's the end game. We're going to do a big change, it's going to be crazy and we're going to turn this comic completely on its head. And what they essentially did was they killed off Sally, which, in comic book things, it's just like, holy, you did what? It was kind of a huge deal, and for the most part, they could do it because the character was made by Archie, was not controlled by Sega. So, the Sega, for the most part, wanted nothing to do with the actual comic storyline.
They're like, you can do your own thing.
But then, and that was about the time I heard about it, and I went, oh, that sounds good, but I don't have the cash to re-up, so whatever. So I kind of stopped right before then. And then it became this whole huge stink of, like, Sega finally came in and said, you can't do that. You can't kill that character. And supposedly the staff going like, you haven't given a crap about us before, and now you want us to change our plotline midway through?
Right.
And then it just became this stink of like, she somehow comes back. She didn't actually die. The best review of it I actually heard from someone was the fact that she comes back to life, and there's this embrace that Salic and Sonic have that is about as sincere as two kids at a Catholic dance hugging. Like, they are hugging about as far away from their bodies can actually contact each other. You have died. I missed you so much. Let me make zero contact with you. Like, it was just so wooden, and then just I would poke my head back in and look at the comic, and it was like, oh yeah, they beat Robotnik, and now they're all in school. Like, what? Huh? No. Not even a little, not even once. So, yeah. It was, and no, I didn't even pay attention to a Sonic Mega Man crossover. Nope. Yeah. That thing.
That was a pretty good Sonic rant.
Yeah. I could do this for hours. One of the
Sonic.
One of the worst things that ever happened that actually let me drop it was actually meeting someone who at the time worked at Sega. And going to them and going, why is it so bad? And him saying, I know why.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, you feel this way too? Oh God.
Apparently, the Sonic Mega Man one was kind of good.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you have Wily and Robotnik teaming up with Sonic and Mega Man teaming up, and it's like, hey, Capcom, it's the redheaded stepchild that you abandoned, and Sonic. But apparently it's pretty good. I don't know. I don't buy Sonic comics. I don't buy a lot of comics, actually.
I buy a ton of comics. So
I buy Pony comics.
See, the problem with this is I've had bad luck with comic series. So it's like, I picked up some of Age of Ultron. It went really dumb. I picked up...
Age of Ultron was crap. I was so pissed off.
Injustice was really dumb.
I actually liked Injustice.
I have a pile of comics here next to my desk because, I have bought lots of comics, and I get one or two. Shield was all right. Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Bendis is doing a good job with it.
Sabrina is holding up Batwoman. She absolutely adored that one until they broke
too
everything.
Bad the creators were forced off.
That's not cool.
Yeah, DC's been screwing up with their editorial meddling for quite a bit.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to have a same-sex couple relationship and marriage. LOL, no. Okay, then we leave.
Well, I think the big thing is they had been planning this out for quite some time. And then DC comes in after they've pulled the trigger on it and said, like, wait, we don't want any of our superheroes getting married. So it was less to do with like the same sex thing than just like an editorial mandate against marriage in general, which is still dumb. But it's not as bad as like we don't want gay people getting married in our comics.
But then how many other comics I have no comics where Superman and Lois Lane got married. There was a particular marriage of Spider-Man that was, well, that had to be axed, but still.
Well, that was Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
And Marvel doesn't have that problem.
Yeah, Marvel doesn't
But like
care.
DC, for some reason, in the New 52, you can't have people get married.
Oh.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Maybe
So,
superheroes should start emailing their congressmen.
Wedding dresses
Actually,
for
that would be
capes.
really fun.
Just have a fake thing. Superheroes are people too. Well, some of them. Some superheroes are people too.
Most of them are jerks.
Sorry, Martian. You're not exactly
Martian
human.
Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter. You're not entirely human, so you don't count anyway. Aw, I don't have the right to vote.
Single tier.
Illegal alien gets.
Well, I mean, like, and that's actually interesting because, like, Clark Kent is an American citizen, right? So he can vote. But Hawkman can't vote. Why are we talking about this?
Because people care.
Yeah, and if you know, most of the Marvelverse can't vote because they're either Genoshan or from other countries or from outer space. You know.
That's true. I don't. Mutants can vote.
Well, yes, mutants can vote. Depending on the continuity, sometimes they're, you know, the oppressed minority getting herded into camps, or, you know,
Right.
Red Skull is trying to wipe them out using Charles Xavier's brain. That was
So,
dumb.
I actually like that story because it was so nuts. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? This is bonkers. But no, I follow the Hickman Avengers. So Avengers, New Avengers, Infinity. I follow just about every X title. So X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Astonishing X-Men, Wolverine and the X-Men, all of it.
X-Men and the X-Men.
X-Men and the X-Men.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wolverine and some dudes in tight suits.
Wolverine and pals. 'Cause that's kind of how it ends
There's
up.
like 5 comics named that, actually.
Yeah, Wolverine and blah.
Yeah.
It's
And their
just
continuities
just
are all separate.
They just make a comic Marvel and Wolverine. Or Wolverine and
Well,
Marvel. Just do it like that.
They actually have a couple of comics that are like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Wolverine versus the Marvel Universe. That kind of thing.
Just Wolverine is part of every team. He just finds a way to sneak his way into everyone. Hey, Wolverine, you want to be part of the X-Men? Also, you're an Avenger. Want to be part of X-Force?
You like Cable, right? Deadpool. Everybody likes Deadpool.
Wolverine, I don't want to. I'm a lone gun, except I'm in every group somehow.
Oh man, I don't know what I just did. I clicked away from the stream, and then it put back an ad, and it involved a kid running away from Tony the Tiger. This is getting really weird.
Uh-oh.
Our stream died.
Oh no, did it?
Mhm.
Deadpool killed the stream.
Oh no. Well, it still says that it's streaming. I don't know. That's weird. I'll restart it. Well, for those that are listening right now, or those that'll catch it after the fact, I'll go ahead and read the next email, and we'll deal with that. Greetings, Jay and guests. Since we're doing an Other Things cast today, I wanted to say something about Harry Potter. You can go online and find custom lightsabers, so why hasn't anyone done custom wands? It seems like a good idea to
Because
me.
they don't go.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Leviosa.
Because as much as I love...
Stop.
Because as much as I love the Noble Collected wands, I'm limited to replicas of the main character's wands, which stinks because I really want to hold my my Pottermore wand. Now for a question. Read any good books lately? Sincerely, Paige Turver. Leviosa.
Actually, a lot of like Ren Fair people do that. I mean, if you want to get a wand that looks something like that, you just gotta look outside of the Harry Potter stuff, I guess. I mean, I'm sure you can find some Rennie or New Ager type person that would be more than happy to carve a wand that looks identical to the one you have online.
I actually have seen in like Sky Mall, which is a weird place to find it, but like replica wands of all the Harry Potter characters.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can totally get up to like $30 a piece.
Here you go. A quick search. HarryPotterShop.com. Harry Potter Wizarding Wand Collection Set of 6. You can get Harry, Hermione, Ron, Dumbledore, Snape, and Voldemort.
Ooh.
Replica wands exist. So you too can pretend that you're Ron.
Yeah.
And Snape.
He was looking for a custom.
Oh, custom wands. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you could find someone. Let's see. Custom Harry Potter wands. I'm sure you could find someone that would be able to make those. There's tons of replica prop makers out there. One person that I know that does some really good work. Let me find this. He recently did a bunch of work. So he's done like stuff for he's done like versions of the Mass Effect guns. He's done some of those recently for tested.com. He did a set of, he did the Needler from Halo. He did a full like glowing Needler, turns on, makes the needle sound both in automatic and single fire, so you could do the one where or that. It was pretty cool. Let's see. I'll do a quick little thing to find out who it was. Let's see. Vulpin Props. Harrison Cricks at Vulpin Props. So he's a professional prop maker and does a lot of his stuff just for fun. But yeah, you could go check that. I mean, there's tons of prop makers. I'm sure you can go to. There's also a prop forum that is out there that is pretty well visited for people who like to make replica props. So, yeah, I would just find some of the replicas, or you don't want to. I know you don't want a replica. You want a custom, but the replica makers can make a modified version for you as well. This one person does do customs, so. If you're looking for something with quality, you can get someone that could make one that would be like better than movie quality, or you could probably find someone that could, find someone that's a woodworker or a whittler that could probably do something. Etsy, I guess, has tons. Orchard wands, it looks like she's looking at. Yeah. Etsy. So there's a bunch of places. You just kind of have to float around.
Mm-hmm.
Books.
Yep. I don't read. A lot of my books are technical, so I'm not very good at book reading. Like, I just read like business books and boring, not fun stuff. Who's been reading books?
I'm reading Divisions, so I can do audiobooks. Divisions by Kyle Gold.
I read a novel. I can talk.
Okay.
It was called Pirate Cinema by Cory Doctorow. He's a tech blogger who believes in basically free speech and freedom of media. So basically, it takes place in a dystopian future where SOPA passed.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so this guy pirates a bunch of old movies, and he gets his internet shut off at his parents' house, and he runs away from home, and he meets up with a bunch of other tech geeks, and they all live together on the streets, and it's basically just 15 chapters of him saying, media corporations suck, they're assholes. And that's kind of the entire book. I mean, I'm
Fun.
not disagreeing with him on that stance, but I don't know, he could have beat me over the head a little bit less with it.
Yeah, that's the trouble with like polemic novels, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's books. Books, what are books?
Books are books, but how could it be? Yeah. Yeah.
I just finished reading this kind of like noir fusion novel called Forest of the Night. So it's like this cyberpunky noir. The main character is this genetically engineered tiger who has to investigate the murder of this political candidate. And it turns out to be this big thing because that's how noirs roll. But it was pretty good.
It's a
Exciting stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too many books that I guess we're reading right now. We'll need to get some more bookish types in here.
Yeah. Hey, I know some authors
Some
and
authors.
writers. I know quite a few authors.
I'm an author.
Sabrina's all
well,
like she reads books, but she also doesn't like to be on mic. So maybe we should get her on mic one day. That would be fun. Instead
She
of
could
just
just yell across the
instead of
house
just
every time.
instead of just screaming in the background whenever she wants to say something. I want to be part of your show, but not in a way that actually contributes a whole bunch.
She just wants to yell in the background. She will forever be the girl in the background that yells. If Starry Night or Sabrina, either way, it never changes.
She will be the one who yells.
Yes.
All right. Okay, well, it takes care of that. Thanks for all the emails. I said we'll figure that out when we do these shows, how we're going to go ahead and do that. By the way, just in the terms of how these shows will happen, next week we'll be doing a regular equine show. So we will be talking about the ponies. Week after that, we probably aren't going to know what we're going to do because there's a convention. You may have heard us talk about it.
We'll have to figure that particular stuff out.
Yep. And just to remind you, tomorrow we're actually going to be tabletopping, I believe.
Yeah.
It seems like tomorrow, a little bit.
Tomorrow, at some point, I need to talk to you after the show.
Yeah, I think maybe 10 Pacific, if that works for you. Which would,
No, it
would,
doesn't anymore.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, again, the board meeting got changed. We'll have to figure something out, maybe a little bit later in the day. I'm ruining everything. I'm sorry.
This is a tabletop that never happened.
I know.
It just keeps getting pushed back.
Something like that.
Well,
We'll see. We'll find out stuff. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to this. Let's do one cool thing. I'm going to have to pressure and find out if Robert and David can find a cool link to something that they want to go ahead and push towards us.
Doesn't have to be pony related, right?
absolutely
No,
not.
why would it be pony related? That's not what this show is about.
My thing is pony related.
Yeah, it doesn't
I'm
have
cheating.
to be. Sometimes
It can be whatever you like it to be.
It sure can. What I'm going to talk about, I actually want to bring up the Sherman and Peabody trailer that came out. That was actually, so I never really cared about any of the Sherman and Peabody things because it always was attached to Boris or not Boris, but the whole Sherman and Bullwinkle. That entire thing.
Yeah,
I
right.
never really cared for it because it always Rocky and Bullwinkle. Sorry, bleh. I never really cared for that show just because it just was so, I don't know, it just irritated me in some odd way. And so because it was attached to that, it was just kind of like, eh. But the trailer that they have out there for this actually looks really, really cool, where it's just, he's a super smart dog, and here's this kid, and time travel, and stuff goes wrong. It actually, the jokes that they had were pretty good, and I like a nice dry comedic, lead character, which looks like that's what that's going to be, what Mr. Peabody is going to pull off on that. I really enjoyed it. I thought it had a really good style to it. So I'm going to link that in the show notes, and you can go check that out. But yeah, go check that out. It looks like it's going to be something really kind of cool with that whole Mr. Peabody and Sherman trailer and the movie forthcoming.
Yeah, isn't Robert Downey Jr. voicing Mr. Peabody?
That would be pretty good. That would be pretty hot. Let's see. See if I got anything. Let's see. Mr. Peabody is actually Ty Burrell from Modern Family.
Okay.
Max Charles is Sherman. Let's see. Other names that are inside of here is, let's see. Danny Elfman, of course, is going to be part of this. You can expect Stephen Colbert to be part of this. Leslie Mann. So there's a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun is going to be in this. I'm looking forward to that. I just saw the trailer and I went, okay, I'm game for this. This looks cool. Jeremy?
All right, my cool thing is actually pony related. It is Flufflepuff's Nightmare Nights. The Fluffy Mixer has done another video, and it is in vein with everything else that they have done. It is weird and pretty funny, and Flufflepuff is dressed as a taco.
You should probably, David. I believe that that's something even you would think would be kind of okay. Like it's nonsense.
Okay.
It is kind of lol random.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty much what that entire series is it's just this stupid random thing with a creature that is too cute to live.
Okay.
So, all right, Robert, what do you got?
I have this article from Giant Bomb a few weeks ago from Patrick Klepek, and it has absolutely nothing to do with video games. It's just a bunch of scary stories that people submitted. And it's Halloween, and holy crap, some of those are really terrifying.
Getting some spooky stories, yeah. When he did the spookin' with spoops, I think what he called it.
Spookin' with scoops.
Yeah, those are pretty funny. And then when he did the Oculus Rift horror games, that really made me want to get an Oculus Rift.
And he was just like, I'm out. These are terrible. I hate this. There's nothing fun. Yeah. You're right. You're right. That'd be great if you were on microphone to tell everyone. To tell everyone that because you are wearing an Oculus Rift and it's right there in your face, it's terrifying. Maybe if you had a microphone next time we do this, you could talk about that. This is what this show is going to be. Much like the other show, but different.
Broader.
There are many shows like it, but this one is ours.
Yes.
All right, David, do you have anything interesting to pull up? Anything you
The best one I could find is comics related. Samurai Jack, if you remember that show. It lasted for like 3 or 4 seasons, and then it got kind of summarily canceled before the story was done. They're finally continuing the story in comic book form. IDW Publishing is doing it, and they just submitted their first issue. So check it out if you're big fans.
We like IDW. They're good guys.
They rescue all the stuff. All the old IPs.
They do, and they publish good stuff. All right. I think that does it. That was more than 2 hours worth of talkie talks.
Yeah, it turns out that
To us.
when we have energetic things to talk about, it's like, hey, we can talk about stuff that we liked and don't have to dredge and tangentially relate everything to ponies.
We've got so many says. Let us give them
Yeah.
to you. But yeah, we will return next week. We will be talking. The pony stuff. It looks like we're going to have the BabsCon people on, who have been netting a whole bunch of guests on, show staff and VAs. So, hey, David, you want to come to a PonyCon in April?
No thanks.
It's in the Bay Area. It's going to be in Burlingame. Come on.
It's like, hey, Josh
That's
will go
cool.
to FC. Come on.
Yeah, come on. We'll trade. I'll go to FC and hang out with you if you come hang out at the pony thing. It's totally 1-to-1.
Yeah, that is totally 1-to-1.
Yeah.
It sounds like a pretty sweet deal,
Yeah.
but that's too much awesomeness. I just can't handle
that
it.
is true. It is kind of awesome. I don't want you to get a face melter,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my heart would explode.
Just the kindness
I just can't
and
take it.
the friendship and tolerance would just be too much for you to handle.
Exactly. My nose would just start bleeding, and then I would just fall over.
Ah, so much tolerance. Ah. Melts into a puddle on the floor. All right. Well, that takes care of us for, you know what? I do like Canon Cast. What do you think?
Sure.
No,
That works.
Starry's shaking
Sure.
her head. She doesn't like it. But Starry doesn't like anything that she doesn't directly choose.
Yeah,
Wait,
Canon
who?
Cast.
Let's make sure there's not something out there that's already named like that.
Yeah.
It's like a podcast about old cannons.
Oh, wait, hang on. It already is a thing. It's Arsenal. It's about FC Arsenal. They're soccers.
Ah, boo. We can't
Soccer
do that.
players. Darn it.
Blast you, soccer!
They're soccers. Yeah, I totally said that. It's okay. We'll find what we're going to call these episodes and, maybe...
Yeah, if you guys want to submit some suggestions across, we're just looking for something kind of generic, geeky nerd stuff, hopefully with a .com that we could actually use.
Robertville.
Well, it doesn't have to end in Ville. Don't feel like a slave to that. But yeah, just something that we could do just to kind of play off of this and have a separate stream, so you guys that want specifically Pony can get that. Those of you that want this stuff can get it whenever you want. So just a little additional thing out there. You know what? I'm not going to go through any of the particular places of how to find us. Our other show is at BronyShow.com, BronyvillePodcast.com. Email for that is Bronyville@gmail. Join us roughly every Saturday, noon Pacific, on this channel at justin.tv/BronyvillePodcast. Leave us an iTunes reviews. That's pretty cool. My Twitter account right now is at Bronyville.
Mine's at Chef Sandy. The name might change. Ooh.
No. It's two spookies.
Mine is at Robert, aka Bob.
That's a good one. Mine is at Jacoby. So that's at JAKEBE.
And I'll send them every pony picture you have. So just
Please don't.
Just start unloading. This was simply a thinly veiled way to finally pull him into the herd. He fell for it full face first.
Oh, he's followed by people I know.
I know.
Some guy named Flane and Furry Fiesta tweets.
Whatever.
This is getting weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of cross pollination.
Wow, what a 12 people actually.
It's pure madness.
Like I know most of these people. Some of these people are good friends.
Something like that.
What a
and conventions, Nightmare Nights Dallas coming up 2 weeks.
Yep, and then after that we'll probably be at Further Confusion.
Sure.
And then probably BabsCon.
Sounds good to me.
So maybe we can start putting some donations towards getting me airfare out to California. That'd be cool.
We'll work on it. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take care of this. Thanks, David, and thanks, Robert, Bob Robs, Rabbage. Thank both of you for coming
Okay,
on,
eventually.
talking some games.
It's been a pleasure.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
have you on? Well, we should have both of you on. This, Dave, it'd be good to have you on to talk full on comic books, considering the fact that you seem like you're obsessed.
Totally obsessed.
Yeah. Well, our eventual goals will be like, this week we're talking about freaking comics. Or this week it's anime.
Yeah, our first hope on this was we know several of the show staff that did Ed and Eddie, so we were hoping to get them on, but schedules conflicted, so, you know. All right, well, let's go ahead and call this. Thank you all for joining us this week for this weird offshoot show that we're doing. Next week, I said, more Pony. And then, episodes are coming up soon, so we will soon be able to obsess as we usually do once that comes around. Till then, oh boy, how do I sign off on this one?
Adios.
Bye-bye!
You're all free now! Yeah!